Wait a minute, you got to wait for the mic.
Comment and question. The first gets back to frog harnesses. And I grew up fishing in northern Minnesota, grew up in Minnesota, and that's not an expression. That's the first time in 35 years I've heard that, and it immediately triggered sitting in a rowboat with the wind blowing and a struggling frog trying to get it on the frog harness. And just,
I didn't know this about you, Tom.
they wiggle around a lot. And you get,
they don't like the harness.
No, they don't like the harness. But you're exactly right in what it has to produce for the fish. But getting back then to this list notion, something I hear is, these lists are the way children look at the world. And, I see a kind of, childlike observation skills. Kids are obsessive about lists and putting things together. I as much as the poetics of reading the list, it conjures to me the visual sense of a child looking, in a fishing store or some crazy collection of things. And maybe you could comment on how do you look at things like a child, or do you remember how to look at things like as a child does?
Well, it may be that. To me, a lot of it is again, just kind of going back to modernism. There was just a moment where lists seemed somehow to be part of the culture. I mean, after I'd been doing it I'd been doing lists for a while, and then suddenly there was the David Letterman list every night, and I thought that was kind of funny that it came out in that. I think it's the one thing about a list is it's easy. I mean, it's the way children do things, because you don't have to come up with a story. You just have, sort of impressions as you receive them, and you don't try and make that much sense out of them. You're just, I had an arguing technique with my wife where if she was, I was losing the argument, I would just start to list things around me. So I would be just...
Don't try this at home.
Totally getting clobbered in the argument, and I would just say, wristwatch, drinking glass, pitcher of water, bowl full of mealworms, paperback book, wristwatch. And it just would drive her insane. It would just make her hopping mad. It would be sort of the end of the argument. She'd just stop.
Wow. Okay.